Hello everybody, welcome to today's Pick a Card reading. We're going to be answering the question that was on the thumbnail and in the title, so you already know. But we're going to be looking into what are your emotions about your romantic situation versus the reality of your romantic situation. Because sometimes our emotions can really confuse us and make us think that the reality is different from what it is. So of course, I also do want to reinforce, which I've said in multiple other videos, but I do want to say it again here, this idea that tarot, of course, should be taken with a grain of salt. I believe in tarot. I believe it is a very helpful tool to connect us with our intuition. But of course, just like our emotions can confuse us, we can get confused sometimes by tarot readings too if we just want to assume that the reading is completely 100% accurate for us. So I always advise you to be in touch with your own intuition about what's true. And the best way to do that is to kind of like get yourself into a calm emotional space, right? And so that your emotions are not influencing that intuition. And also pay attention to what the real life evidence seems to be telling you, in addition to what this tarot reading is saying. So we do have three options here, and I'll hold up each of these cards. Number one, these cards are from the Oracle of the Mermaids deck. It says Energy Field Adjustment, Aura Cleansing, and Health. So just randomly chose these. So these are the cards that Spirit wanted to be at the top of each stack. So that's reading number one. Timestamps are below. And then we have the Magic of the Kohellan Druid. Caution, Secrecy, Wary. That's number two. And then we have Vulnerability. You're hearing my cat meowing and scratching. It says, Open your heart. Allow yourself to be tender. So these were the three randomly chosen cover cards that you can choose from. All of the timestamps are in the description box in the top of the comments, but I also want to point out I'm going to be using this Modern Witch Tarot deck by Lisa Sturl in this reading. I'm so excited about it. I wanted it so badly. I put it on my Amazon wish list, and I just checked my mail today, and I got it in the mail from my viewer, Charlotte. So I'm so grateful to her. I've reached out to her personally as well to let her know. But yeah, I was so grateful that she sent me this deck. I've been seeing it in other people's videos, and I just think it's such a beautiful deck. So I'm glad to own it and to be able to use it for this reading for you guys today. And my cat Coco, she just wants to make an appearance. Hopefully you've been able to choose your reading by now, and I'll see you there. Okay, welcome to everybody who chose reading number one. So this initial spread is going to be about what your emotions seem to be telling you is the truth of your romantic situation. And when we're done with that, I'll move into what the reality is that maybe you're not seeing because your emotions could be clouding things. So first we get, well, first actually let's look at the card that you chose, because I feel like that's going to tell us something as well. Energy Field Adjustment, Aura Cleansing, and Health. This does feel to be like a very passionate connection, and that makes sense because the Romance Angels card that came up is chemistry. So you're definitely feeling that kind of like warmth. I feel like this person just kind of like heats you up, you know, like maybe you even feel yourself blushing sometimes when you think about them. You're probably getting those butterflies in your stomach at times. But it also says Aura Cleansing and Health. So I feel like you are understanding that there's something about this situation that requires you maybe to work on improving yourself in some way, or like healing yourself in some way. There's something that has to be adjusted in order to make this connection work. But I feel like you're glowing, you know, like you're very happy about it. Overall, you're happy to know this person and to have this attraction to them. And your emotions are, yeah, like there's a strong magnetic attraction. I almost feel myself blushing right now. So I'm feeling like you must do that a lot, or like just get like really warm, you know, literally and figuratively when it comes to them. So with the tarot, we have Four of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and Four of Swords. We have 2 4 cards, so I feel like your emotions, and the Knight of Pentacles is very earthy, grounded energy as well. So I feel like your emotions are telling you that this is a very promising situation. If it's not a relationship, I feel like you're feeling like it's definitely going to be, and I can feel like almost like this giddy excitement. But at the same time, like things might be moving a little bit more slowly than you want them to, or you might feel like they need to move slowly because you feel like you need that rest, or like I said, that time to make these necessary adjustments. You know, the Four of Swords is a card about taking time out. You know, I feel like you might think that this situation is, yeah, it's really exciting. Sometimes it might be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. And it's almost like I feel like you feel like you're not totally prepared for it, although you're excited at the same time. So from the Lenormand, this is the Intuit Oracle deck. So it's kind of like an expanded Lenormand deck. It has the normal Lenormand cards, but other additional cards as well. But we have the Garden, which relates a lot to the Four of Wands. I feel like you can see yourself being in a very public relationship with this person, maybe a marriage even. You can definitely see yourself being with this person and like letting other people know, like making it Facebook official or something like that. But I also feel like, you know, you're having this realization, or you're feeling very enlightened when it comes to the fact that, you know, I feel like you have very specific things that you want out of life, or you're someone who has maybe some lone wolf tendencies. And I feel like your emotions are telling like you that you need to be very careful about how you go about this, because you're excited about it, but at the same time you want to make sure that you're not approaching this romantic connection in any kind of way that could be, you know, keeping you from really being true to yourself and true to what you want out of life. I think you want the same thing for the other person as well. Like, you don't want to impose yourself on their life in any way. All right, so that's what your emotions are telling you. Let's look into the reality and see if it's different, if at all, and if so, how. All right, so first we've got forgiving and learning. We've got the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, 2 10 cards. We had 2 4 cards before. And then the 5 of Pentacles, lots of grounded energy in your emotions and also in the reality. So you're definitely on base there, that this is a very grounded romantic connection. This isn't a flash in the pan. This has very sustainable energy here. We have Snake, Tree, and Mask. So right off the bat, I feel like this is actually like I do feel like your excitement, like I said, your excitement about the possibilities of having a public relationship with this person, or if you're in a relationship already, like taking it to the next level. But the reality is like so much more substantial than what you are already feeling. And I think like I said earlier, your emotions are telling you that maybe you're not quite ready for this. The reality is you are definitely ready for this. You're ready to get hitched. I mean, 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles, dang. Like, this is like the person you want to have a family with and or grow old with. You know, spend the rest of your life together kind of energy. Are there going to be difficulties? Are there going to be times when it's sort of stressful and you have to figure things out in the relationship? Yes, but what the 5 of Pentacles tells me is that this is a romantic connection of 2 people who care so much about each other that they are definitely willing to work through those difficult times. You know, this isn't like a fair weather type relationship. This is through thick and thin, through good and bad. This person wants to be by your side. And I feel like whether you are really, whether your emotions are allowing you to see it or not, you're actually much better prepared for all of that than you think you are. We also have the snake, the tree, and the mask. I feel like there's also a reality here that there are definite issues, right? There is a very grounded, fertile energy here with the tree. There's so much that is going to blossom from this. You know, I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction. I feel like really good things are going to come from this. Of course, like I said in the intro, you know, take a tarot reading with a grain of salt. But if this seems accurate for you, I feel like really good things are going to come from this. However, I do feel like there are going to be some issues, especially we have this forgiving and learning card. Some of the difficult issues between the two of you might have to do with trust, or, you know, feeling like someone's, you know, like someone's being too possessive or jealous, or, you know, someone just doesn't always tell the truth, or sometimes you don't understand that this person is loyal. I mean, I feel like there is a strong loyalty here, but there are going to be some sort of issues related to that. And it could just be an issue of perception, of perceiving that someone's not loyal or something like that. But whatever it is, you have to learn how to coexist with this person in order to make it work long term. We also have mask. You know, like, I feel like another thing that you have to be prepared for is the fact that this person, you know, we always, if you go on a first date with someone, you try to make a good first impression, right? Or if you're just getting to know someone. But when you really get close to someone, when you get to the point of living with them or spending a significant amount of time with them, you start to see like the true person behind the mask, behind the persona. You know, you'll look up from reading your book and see that they're picking their nose, and you're like, oh my God, I was not prepared for this, you know, but that's the reality. Like, people are people. They're going to do weird things. They're, you know, not going to put their dishes in the dishwasher or things that annoy you, you know. So those are the types of things that I think that you're going to have to struggle with. And I don't want you to be too concerned about this snake here because, like I said, it's coming up under the Ten of Cups. I feel like the reality is that things are very happy, but there are moments when things can get a little bit toxic, or people get I feel like trust issues. And just because there are trust issues doesn't mean that someone is necessarily being deceptive or cheating or anything like that. It just means that these are normal issues that people have to learn how to confront when it comes to relationships. All right. So I hope that that reading was helpful. Coco wants to stop in and say hello. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please click that like button if you liked the reading, and if you haven't already subscribed, I would love to have you as a subscriber. So thanks for watching. I'll see you around. Bye, guys. Hello, everybody who chose reading number 2. Let's see what's going on with your emotions, and let's check in on the reality and see if it's very different from what your emotions are telling you is true about your romantic situation. So first, let's look a little bit at the card that you chose, which was the Magic of the Kohellan Druid. So this is telling me that you might feel a little bit cautious, maybe about relationships in general, or maybe specifically about this person. You feel a little bit wary about them. The thing is, the Magic of the Kohellan Druid is sort of about how sometimes people can manipulate us to being in relationships or staying in relationships that we're not meant to be in. Another message of this card is about how we present ourselves to the world, and like, you know, I guess the advice of the card is to, you know, you want to put on an appearance that is going to attract to you people who are in your soul family. So kind of like represent who you are on the inside with the way that you represent yourself on the outside. So there might be something related to this romantic connection that has to do with the clothes you choose to wear, how you present yourself, and why you choose to present yourself in that way. Do you try to look a certain way in order to attract this person? or something along those lines. So those are just some things to think about. But let's get into the actual reading here. So we have heart-to-heart conversations. We have the Fool, the Queen of Cups, Justice. We also have Key, Magnet, and Ring. So I feel like your emotions are definitely telling you that you enjoy talking to this person, or you want to talk to this person more. I feel like you really feel like, you know, having a heart-to-heart conversation and really talking about, okay, what's going on here? I feel very open to this. I feel very loving here, but I feel like we need to have a conversation so that we can be more on the same page and make sure that we're both feeling the same way. I kind of feel like we have Justice with the Ring coming up underneath it. I feel like you kind of feel like this is the one, like this is the perfect match for you. This is the person who you're meant to be with. We have the Queen of Cups with Magnet underneath. Like you feel like this undeniable attraction to this person. You know, like your cup is overflowing with love. Like you want to fully embrace this. I feel like there's nothing really holding you back, because your heart is telling you like this person is the key to my happiness. And I feel like you want to tell them about it. You want to tell them how you feel if you haven't already. All right, so let's see what the reality is and see if there's anything there that you're not getting because your emotions are clouding that. All right, so we have Make the Effort. We have the High Priestess, Eight of Cups, the King of Wands, Double Rainbow, Scythe, and Snowflake. So yeah, I actually do feel like the reality of this situation is significantly different from what your emotions are telling you. And the first thing that stands out to me in the original card, it's heart-to-heart conversations, right? And we have this woman trying to speak to this man. He looks like a deer caught in the headlights, you know, like she definitely wants to have this conversation. He's like, oh my God, can someone get me out of here? You know? I feel like you're desiring, your emotions are telling you like it's the right thing to do to just talk it out. But the thing is, like, this person, I feel like, is not really making that effort to have these conversations. And I feel like that's the reality that's being highlighted here. We also have, you know, the Eight of Cups with the Scythe underneath. These are both cards about ending things and moving on. I feel like although you are a divine, beautiful being, like a goddess, you know, you're very connected spiritually. You're very high vibrational. You're here to be a loving person with an open heart. You know, you want to be here for the world and for other people. You have these beautiful spiritual aspirations. I feel like this situation is not, it's not meant to last, you know, like, and for a reason, there's a divine reason for this not working out. And it is because you are meant to move on, and you're meant to move on to the person who is perfect for you. Like you've been thinking like, this is the perfect person. This is, you know, this person has the key to my heart. This is my true love. And, you know, I personally believe that we can have many true loves, but, you know, high vibrational, real spiritual connections with people. But the reality here, to me, based on these cards, feels like this isn't really meant to last. Although the connection is so strong, it is eventually meant to be a situation where you move on from the person. And you're going to be drawn to a situation. I know it's hard for you to believe that right now, because based on the initial cards with your emotions, I feel like you really put this person on quite the pedestal here. But there is someone who is better for you. I just want to pull a few more cards because I feel like this is going to be a difficult message for you guys. And, you know, like I said in the intro, you want to take it with a grain of salt. If you feel like this is totally inaccurate for you, then good. Pay attention to what your gut is telling you. But if you feel like, okay, maybe that could be true and I'm just kind of like living in the clouds a little bit, I just want to give you a little bit more guidance to go on. What do the viewers of number 2 need to understand? Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles. I feel like this is a significant person. This person really matters to you. This is a meaningful connection. But I kind of feel like the moving on thing, maybe you don't realize it yet, but I think it's going to be a choice that you make at some point. At some point, you're going to realize this is not really where I'm meant to be. This person isn't making the effort, or something isn't happening here that you would prefer to happen. And I think it's just going to be a choice that you make at some point to move on. Yeah. And, you know, the good thing is, like, the person who you end up with, eventually, you're going to have such a strong love for and feel so loved by. And it's going to be perfect and beautiful and harmonious. So everything is going to work out in the end. But I feel like, yeah, I mean, you're kind of right now thinking this person has more of a power to bring you happiness than they truly do. All right, so I hope that that makes sense and is helpful. Thank you again, guys, so much for watching. If you found this to be helpful, make sure to give the video a like and subscribe if you haven't already, so you can get notified of my future readings. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, welcome to everyone who chose reading number 3. So first, let's look a little bit at the card you chose, which was vulnerability. Now, I randomly chose these cover cards, but I'm assuming that a lot of the people viewing this are going to choose reading number 3, because this is the beautiful vision that we want to have of our romantic life, right? But it also is vulnerability. Open your heart, allow yourself to be tender. Now, vulnerability is not easy. You know, we want to find someone who we can feel that vulnerability with, who we feel safe to, you know, open up to and share things that, you know, maybe we haven't even shared with other people, because we can trust this person and we feel so loved and adored by them. So that's a beautiful feeling. So I feel like that is an aspect of this connection, because this is an overarching card. That card isn't just about your emotions. So there is truth here. This is someone who you feel that you can be vulnerable with, and that's a beautiful thing. So we also have reconciliation, and it's kind of like, well, kind of like Coco wants to walk all over your reading. Let me pause and, okay, I think she's gonna, well, maybe not. Hold on. All right, sorry about that, guys. I know she's cute to see, but I also want to make sure that I can get the reading in on time before my camera shuts off on my phone. All right, so there's a similar energy here in this picture as there is here. Like, I feel like you love the idea of being embraced by this person. If you've hugged this person and been held by them, I feel like you really love that, like, so much. It melts you. Or if you're holding them, or vice, you know, whatever. So I feel like your emotions are telling you, like, you know, this is someone who I can really trust. All right. We also have Death, Two of Wands, and Two of Swords. I kind of feel like this is someone who's so different from other people who you've been attracted to, but you can just tell, like, even though it's not your typical type of person or the typical type of situation or whatever, like, you just feel like they're a natural match to you. But there's sort of like some sort of transformation. Like, the Death card as well is a real card of, like, emotional vulnerability and letting your guard down with someone, allowing them to really see who you are deep down, telling someone your secrets, you know. So there's that energy, like, this is someone you could really, really, truly trust. I feel like that's what your emotions are telling you. I feel like also you have a feeling that either this is someone who you could see yourself having children with, because we have the Child card here, or you feel like children are going to impact this connection at some level. I feel like some of you as well, because it looks like she's thinking about probably moving or something in this Two of Wands. Some of you might feel like there's a new beginning that's required that would actually mean that you or them would need to relocate in order to make this work. I feel as well that you're feeling like this person has a very calming or healing effect on you. Like, it just feels so good to know that you can trust someone with your secrets and that they'll still love you. Like, you feel safe with this person. And I kind of feel like, you know, to you, this person just feels like someone you can really lean on. You know, with the Moose card, I feel like it's like they're a brick wall of support for you. Like, this person has so much inner strength and fortitude, and I feel like that's very appealing to you. So that seems to be what your emotions are telling you about this romantic connection. Let's see what the reality is, and if there's anything different there that your emotions might be clouding you from understanding. All right, so first we have the trust card. So I was just saying, this is someone who you feel like you trust enough that you could tell like your deepest, darkest secrets to and really be vulnerable with. So that is the reality. Your emotions are correct there. You can definitely trust this person. I also feel like, you know, we mentioned that you could be feeling like travel might be required in order for this to work out. And with the Knight of Wands here and also the Rider card, I do feel like either you might need to relocate, or this could be someone who you do a lot of world traveling with, you know, just traveling around to different places with. I feel like travel is definitely going to be significant in this connection. What I also feel like here with the King of Swords is that, you know, this is someone who doesn't really need other people. Like, they definitely don't need a relationship. This might even be someone who prefers to be single. And, you know, especially with Rider coming up underneath, because the Rider card to me indicates someone who has a very free spirit, who doesn't really want to be held down. Yes, you can trust this person. Is it going to be difficult, though, to like get them to commit? I think so. So if you don't recognize that already, I feel like, you know, that's something that you need to understand. It doesn't mean that they won't, but it's going to be difficult. You know, like, they prefer the bachelor or the bachelorette lifestyle. Let me pull some clarifiers here. Yeah, and I think also the reality is this person, you know, I'm not saying that they're a player or something, but I feel like they don't like if they wanted to get up tomorrow, and if they had the money and the time to do it, and they just wanted to get up tomorrow and, you know, get on a plane and travel to another city, they want to be able to do that without asking their romantic partner. You know, and like, there aren't many romantic partners who would be okay with that. I mean, that's just one example, but I feel like this is someone who doesn't really like the whole checking in process that is, you know, kind of required and expected of most romantic relationships. I also feel like, even though there is a lot of trust here, I feel like this person can communicate things sometimes in a way that is unnecessarily combative. Like, they might really stir arguments with you sometimes over really petty things. And I feel like you're just going to be like, I really don't need that. Like, there's no need for us to be arguing about something so petty and trivial. So there's definitely an energy of that. And with the Moose, you know, I feel like they are someone who wants to win every argument as well. You know, this is someone who wants to have the last word. And I feel like at times it's going to make you worry, like, gosh, if that's so important, if like having the last word and arguing about such stupid little things is so important to them, does this person really respect me? Do they really see the value of what I bring to this relationship or this connection? If that's the way that they're going to act, it's definitely going to, you know, bring up some question marks in your mind, I feel like. I think sometimes you might need like a rest from this person and a little bit of time off. You know, you might wake up one day and be like, you know what? I'm a little tired of these petty little trivial arguments. Maybe I need to get on a plane and just travel to another city without asking you and see how that feels. You know, like this is kind of the energy of what I see happening in this connection. I do feel like there is a lot of love, you know, because when you can really let down your guard and trust someone to the level that I see here, that's wonderful, but there are going to be some difficult hurdles to overcome as well. So I feel like your guides just want you to be aware of that, so that you can, you know, face it realistically and not just kind of have your head in the clouds and think that everything's going to be perfect and easy. You know, no matter how much you trust someone, relationships just aren't perfect and easy. That isn't how it works, even in the best of cases. All right, so that's what I get for everyone who chose reading number 3. If you liked this reading, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, I would love for you to be a subscriber. So I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.